Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. As you know, we are studying new syllabus mathematics. It's book 3. Today we will start chapter number 3, which is linear inequalities. This topic is at number 20 of your CIE syllabus under the reference solution of equations and inequalities. And this chapter is also discussed in book 1, chapter number 5, and in this book 3, chapter number 3, which we will study today. In this lesson number 14, we will try to understand what are linear inequalities, symbols of inequalities, rules of inequalities, graphing inequalities of number line, and solving inequalities, how we will solve the inequalities. So let's look these topics one by one. As we know that an equation is a mathematical statement that shows the equality or equal values of two numbers, variables or expressions, or simply we can say a statement in which there is a sign of equality is called an equation. But an inequality is a mathematical statement or relationship that makes a non-equal comparison between two numbers, variables or other mathematical expressions, and is represented using one of the following symbols, or simply we can say that a relation in which there is a sign of inequality other than equality. If an expression does not contain an equality sign but there are any inequality signs which we will study now, then that statement is called an inequality. Equation has particular solutions, inequalities has infinitely many solutions. This symbol is less than, that is A is less than B. The number on the left hand side is less than B, means that A is less than B. This sign is greater than, so it means that the number which is on the right hand side of this open face of this sign is greater than the number or expression on the right hand side. This sign contain an equal sign as well, so this is called less than or equal to. This contains equal to sign, and this is the sign of greater than, so we will read this as greater than or equal to. And this is the inequality symbol which is not equal to. So if two statements are not equal, we will use this symbol, and this is not equal to. The first two inequalities are called strict inequalities because these two inequalities are strict. If a number is less than b, then it is less than b. If a number is greater than b, it is greater than b. It cannot be equal or less than or equal or greater than. So that's why these two inequalities are called strict inequalities. The meaning of these symbols can be easily remembered by noting that the bigger side of the inequality symbol, that is the open side, faces the larger number or expression. The smaller side of the inequality symbol, that is the closed side, faces the smaller number or expression. This is the pictorial representation of these two statements. This is the bigger side of this inequality symbol. So this is big. The number on the left hand side will be bigger than the number on the smaller side of this inequality. If you reverse this, flip this inequality sign, then the smaller side will be on the left hand side, and bigger side will be on the right hand side. So we will always read starting from the left hand side, the number on the left hand side and this symbol. If it is open towards left hand side, it means this is greater than the number on the right hand side, and if this is close from the left hand side, then this number on the left hand side is less than the number on the right hand side. The rules of inequalities. These are important rules. We will apply these rules in solving the inequalities. First rule is swapping of numbers P and Q. We suppose that there are two numbers P and Q results in flipping the inequality symbols. That is, if P is greater than Q and you will swap these two numbers, replace the places of these two numbers, then you will have to flip the inequality sign. If P is greater than Q, then Q is less than P. If P is less than Q, then swapping the numbers, the inequality signs will be reversed. If P is less than Q, then Q is greater than P. This is an example. If A is older than B, then of course B is younger than A. If 5 is greater than 3, then 3 is less than 5. Rule number 2 is addition and subtraction of same number to each side of an inequality does not change the direction of the inequality symbol. So if in the original inequality, if you add same number on both sides of the inequality sign remains same. If P is less than Q, then P plus D is less than Q plus D. Similarly, if you subtract same numbers from both sides of the inequality sign will remain same. So adding and subtracting same numbers from both sides of the inequality does not change the sign of inequality. These are the examples you can see. Rule number 3 is multiplying and dividing each side of an inequality by a positive number does not change the direction of the inequality symbol. So if you multiply both sides of the inequality by a positive number, or you divide both sides of the number of the inequality the by a positive number, the inequality sign remains the same. If P is less than Q is an inequality and D is a positive number, and you multiply both sides of this inequality by D, the sign of inequality remains same. These are the examples. Similarly, if you will divide both sides of the inequality by a positive number, the sign of inequality will remain the same throughout. This is same as in the equation we divide. If there is 3x is equal to 15, to find the value of x, we divide both sides by 3, which is positive. So x is equal to 5. Same is the case here when we will multiply or divide both sides of the inequality by a positive number, then the sign of inequality remains same. But in multiplication there is a difference. In dividing or multiplying both sides of the equation by a negative number, there is no change. Minus 3x is equal to 15 means x is equal to 15 over minus 3. So x is equal to minus 15. But multiplying and dividing each side of an inequality by a negative number flips the inequality symbol. That if in the original inequality there is less than sign, multiplying and dividing both sides of the inequality by a negative number, it will become greater than. And if the sign in the original inequality is greater than, then multiplying or dividing by negative number, it will become less than. So less than will become greater than, and greater than will become less than. So if P is less than Q and D is a negative number, multiplying both sides of this inequality by negative number D, this sign of inequality will be changed. These are the examples. We will use this important rule in solving the inequality. In inequality, if the coefficient of x or the variable is negative, to find the value of x, we will either divide both sides by that negative number, or we will multiply both sides by that negative number. But multiplying and dividing an inequality by a negative number will flip the sign of inequality. Rule number 5 is taking the reciprocal of each side of an inequality flips or changes the direction of inequality symbol when both sides are positive or both are negative. So this is to be remembered that if both sides of the inequality are positive or both sides are negative, then when you will take the reciprocal of the numbers, then you will flip the sign of inequality. This is if 5 is less than 9, both numbers are positive. When you will take the reciprocal of these two numbers, the sign of inequality will be changed. Minus 10 is greater than minus 15, both are negative. When you will take the reciprocal, the sign of inequality will be changed. But if one number is positive and one number is negative, then it will not make any sense, because the reciprocal of the positive number is positive and reciprocal of negative number is negative. So we know that the positive number are always greater than the negative numbers. A square of a number is always greater than or equal to 0. So if there is a negative number, it is less than zeros, when you will take the square on both sides, it will become 9, and 9 is not less than 0 but it is greater than 0. So taking square, you will take reverse the sign of inequality. Now this is graphing inequalities, how you will graph the inequalities on a number line. The best tool to represent and visualize numbers is the number line. A number line is defined as a straight horizontal line with numbers placed along at equal intervals. So as you know, the number line is a line, and a number line has a 0 at the middle. On the right hand side of 0 on the number line are positive numbers, while the left side of the 0 is negative numbers. So a line where there is 0 in the middle and on the left hand side there are positive numbers, on the left hand side of 0 there are negative numbers. So how we will plot the inequality? We take this example of an inequality. After solving an inequality, you will get an inequality of this type: one variable on left hand side and there will be a number on the right hand side. To draw this inequality on the number line, you will draw a circle over the number. In this case, this number is 1. Then if the sign does not include equal to, this is greater than but it does not include equal to, leave the circle open and draw a line going from the circle towards right side. This is the case. This is greater than sign, it does not include equal to. So you will draw this number line, label this number line 0, positive numbers on left side, right side, negative numbers on left hand side, and we will draw a circle at the number is 1. We have drawn a circle and we have left this circle open, unshaded circle, and we have bolded the number line towards right. Or you can draw a number line, label it, above the number you can draw a circle, and from the circle draw a line, and this line will be arrowed line, and produce it towards the right side. And to plot an inequality such as x less than 1, same is the case. The only difference is that you will bold the number line towards the left hand side. For less than, the number line will be bolded towards left hand side, and for greater than sign, number line will be bolded on the right, towards right hand side. Or you can draw a circle, empty circle or unshaded circle or open circle at over the number, and from the circle draw a line towards left hand side and put an arrow there. And if the sign includes equal to, greater than or equal to, method is same. You just have to draw a circle which is closed or shaded circle. For greater than or equal to, this is the number line, Inequality is x greater than or equal to, so over 1 you will draw a circle, and in the case of less than or equal to, draw the number line. Over the number, draw a circle, shade it, and bold the number line towards left hand side, or over this number 1, draw a shaded circle and draw an arrowed line towards left hand side. So this is simple to plot the inequalities. These are some examples of inequalities and number line. If inequality is x greater than or equal to 0, x greater than or equal to 1, so over 1 draw a circle, shade it because there is equal to sign also, and produce this or bold this number line towards right hand side. In this inequality, there are two inequality symbols. They are called double inequalities or compound inequalities. There are two numbers, one on the right hand side and one on the left hand side. Sorry. On each number, you will draw a circle because both inequality symbols are less than and greater than without equality sign. So at -2 you will draw an open circle, at +2 you will draw a open circle, and all the numbers between these two circles are the solution. So you will bold this number line between these two circles, or you can draw a circle over this number -2, draw a circle over this number -2 and join these two circles with a line. This is same as this one, only difference is that both the inequality symbols contain equality sign also. So above -1 you will draw a shaded circle, above 2 you will draw a shaded circle and join these two circles. If you are drawing the circle on the number line, bold this one, or simply draw a circle above this number and above this number 2 and join these two circles. In this case, one inequality symbol has equality, one does not contain an inequality. So you will draw two circles, one at -1 and one over 2. The circle which is at 2 is shaded because this inequality symbol is with the equality sign, and circle at -1 is open. Join these two circles to complete the inequality. Now, if number line is given, you can also write the inequalities. Above 2 there is a circle, solid circle or shaded circle. Above -1 there is a circle which is open circle. So it means all the numbers which are greater than -1 and less than or equal to 2. So you will write this inequality putting x between, and this number on the left hand side and this number on the right hand side, and sign of inequality will be written after looking at the shape of the circle. Solving inequalities. How we will solve inequalities? Solving an inequality that includes a variable gives all of the possible values that variable can take that make the inequality true. So to solve an inequality means we will find the value of x as we do in solving the linear equations. To solve inequality, these are the steps. Eliminate all fractions by multiplying all terms by least common denominators of all fractions. So as we solve the equations having fractions, we take the LCM of the denominators and then cross multiply. But here you can multiply each part of the inequality, each term of the inequality by the denominator, LCM of the denominators, and then simplify to get an inequality without fractions. And if inequality has brackets, you will remove the brackets. So these two points or steps are subject to the condition. If fractions are there, you will remove the fractions by multiplying each part of the inequality by the LCM of the denominator, and if brackets are there, you will remove the brackets as we did in the previous lessons. Now we will do the same thing which we do in solving the equations. We will collect all the terms with the variable on one side of the inequality symbol, and this we will do preferably on the left hand side. That is, we will collect all the terms with variable on left hand side, and all the constant terms without variable we will bring them to other side, that is on the right hand side. If you will collect terms with variable on left hand side, then constant terms will be collected towards the right hand side, and if you collect the variables on the right hand side, then all the constant term to the left hand side. But you must collect all the terms with variable on the left hand side. Then simplify left and right sides of the inequality and get an inequality of the form. So when you will solve, when you will apply all these steps, you will get any one type of the inequalities in the end. And as we do in equation, that we, to find the value of x, we divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient of x. Same will be done here. We will divide both sides of the inequality, or we will multiply both sides of the inequality by the coefficient of x. If coefficient of x is positive, then there will be no change in the inequality sign, as we studied the rules of inequality. And if this coefficient is negative, then multiplying or dividing both sides of the inequality will change this inequality sign. This is an example. This inequality has a bracket, so we will remove this bracket. We will eliminate, we will omit this step, because this inequality does not contain any fraction. So we will remove this bracket, and we will collect all the variables on one side and all the constant term on the right hand side. Simplify left and right hand side. We get minus x is greater than or equal to 3, but we need to find the value of x. To find the value of x, we will either multiply both sides by -1, or we will divide both sides by -1. And dividing and multiplying both sides by -1, we will have to change this inequality sign. So we will get x is less than or equal to -3. Number line is that at number 3 you will draw a circle, and you will shade this circle because this inequality symbol has sign of equality, and you will draw an arrowed line towards left hand side like this. This is example number 2. In this example, there is a fraction. The coefficient of x is a fraction. To remove this fraction, we will take the LCM of the denominator, because there is only one denominator, 3, so 3 is the LCM. So we will multiply each term of this inequality by 3, and 3 is positive number. So multiplying both sides of the inequality by a positive number does not change the sign of inequality. So this will give us minus 2x plus 18 less than 3. 2x is less than 3 minus 18. 2 minus 2x is less than minus 15. Again, the coefficient of x is a negative number. So to find the value of x, we will divide both sides of the inequality by -2. So dividing both sides by -2, this sign has to be reversed. So we will get x is greater than 15 over 2. To draw this inequality on a number line, so we will draw a circle. That this circle is unshaded circle, because inequality sign does not contain equal sign, and it is greater than, so this there is an arrowed line from the circle towards right hand side. So this is the inequality on the number line. So this is your today's lesson. Hope everything is clear in this lesson. If you have any problem, you can Ask me. This is your homework. You will have to memorize the rules of inequalities which we have studied, method of graphing inequalities on the number line, and steps to solve inequalities. This is my profile. Keep doing practice because practice makes knowledge perfect. Thank you for watching and Allah Hafiz.